We are more often frightened than hurt, and we suffer more in imagination than in reality. Seneca. My friends, let's start with this. You see, the night doesn't lie. The day is full of masks, noise, and distractions. But when darkness falls and silence takes the stage, the truth walks in uninvited. That's when the show is over. That's when they feel it most, missing you. And don't be fooled, folks, they do feel it. They can laugh in the daylight, post selfies, tell the world they're fine. But when the lights go out, when the noise is gone, the silence hits harder than a hammer to glass. Now, before we dive deep into this, do me a favor, press that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and share this video with a friend who needs to hear these truths. And I promise you, if you stay with me till the very end, you'll see why silence is not your weakness, but your greatest power. Hey folks, imagine this. It's midnight. The world is quiet. The city sleeps, the cars stop rushing, and the only sound left is the beating of their own heart. They pick up their phone, stare at the glowing screen, scroll past meaningless updates, but keep stopping at one thing: your name. They hover there, thumb trembling, pride screaming, heart aching. It's like standing at the edge of a cliff, wind pulling them forward, fear pulling them back. They want to reach out, but pride chains them to the ground. And that's the paradox of the night. The moment they feel your absence most is the moment they feel most powerless to act on it. During the day, it's easy to hide. Friends, work, endless scrolling. It's all camouflage. It's like painting over cracks on a wall. Looks fine from a distance, but in the silence of night, the cracks appear again, wider than before. That's the thing about longing. It doesn't shout in public. It whispers in private. And those whispers, they grow into storms. They replay your laugh, the way you looked at them, even the arguments that felt unbearable at the time. And in that replay, they discover the truth they don't want to face. You mattered more than they let themselves believe. Epictetus once said, "It is not things themselves that disturb us, but our judgments about them." And what are they judging at night? Themselves. They judge themselves for missing you, for feeling weak, for hovering over your name, but not pressing send. They try to call it strength, but my friends, it's not strength. It's pride wearing a mask. And pride is heavy armor when no one's attacking. At night, that armor suffocates them. Now here's the lie they told themselves, that moving on would be easy, that forgetting you was just a matter of time, that silence meant victory. But here's the truth. Your silence is not their victory, it's their mirror. And every time they look in it, they see the hole your presence once filled. Think of it like the moon. The moon doesn't chase the night, yet the night is never complete without its light. That's you. You don't need to chase, because your calm, steady presence echoes even in absence. And listen, folks, this is where most men fail. They crumble under the weight of silence. They break no contact. They send that late night, "Hey," they try to remind her of their worth. But that's not power, that's panic. And panic is forgettable. Calm is unforgettable. Peace is magnetic. Detachment is power. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Receive without arrogance, release without attachment." That's the energy that makes your presence impossible to erase. So as we begin this journey together, remember this. Night reveals what the day hides, and when they are lying there, staring at the ceiling, fighting battles you can't see, know that your silence is the arena where their pride and heart clash. And you, my friend, by staying calm, you've already won. Say it with me. Calm is my power. Write it in the comments below so you show the world, you remind yourself, and you declare it out loud. And don't forget, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and stay with me until the very end, because what comes next will open your eyes even more. Number 1. The quiet strikes hardest. Silence is the language of the soul, all else is a poor translation. My friends, let's face it, the quiet is not their friend. It's their enemy, their mirror, their tormentor. During the day, they can laugh, they can act busy, they can scroll through life pretending that nothing touches them. But when the noise fades and the walls of their room echo back only silence, that's when the truth crawls out of the shadows. That's when missing you doesn't whisper, it roars. Picture this, it's midnight, the world outside is still, the streets are empty, the laughter of friends has faded, even the hum of traffic has disappeared. They're lying there, staring at the ceiling, phone resting next to them, but the glow of the screen feels heavier than the darkness. And in that stillness, who appears? You. Not because you're calling, not because you're texting, not because you're chasing, but because silence has a way of amplifying the presence of what's gone. Questions rush in. Why can't I stop thinking about them? Why does this silence feel like punishment? Why is their absence louder than the noise of my entire day? My friends, this is the paradox of the quiet hours. The more they try to bury the thought of you, the more it rises like smoke in the night. They tell themselves they're fine, they convince their friends they've moved on, they pretend in daylight that nothing lingers. But at night, their mind refuses to obey. Because silence doesn't lie. Silence is the arena where truth is forced to show up. Epictetus once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it." Think about that. Their reaction to silence reveals everything. They try to escape it. Music, Netflix, scrolling endlessly. But when the playlist ends, when the credits roll, when the phone dies in their hand, it's just them and the reality they've been running from. The absence of you. The steadiness you carried, the calm you left behind. The quiet strikes hardest because it strips away illusions. During the day, distractions are camouflage. They wear pride like armor, convincing themselves they don't care, convincing the world they've won by moving on. But at night, pride is heavy armor with no battle. And that's why it suffocates them. That's why they toss and turn. That's why they hover over your name in their contacts, typing messages they'll erase before pressing send. Folks, let's break a lie right here. The lie they told themselves is this: if I stay silent, I win. If I bury my feelings, they'll disappear. But the truth is the opposite. Silence doesn't erase longing, it multiplies it. Trying to hide from the pull of memory only makes it come back sharper. Like trying to hold a beach ball underwater, the harder they push it down, the stronger it bursts to the surface. That's why the quiet hurts them so much. And here's the part they don't understand. They thought silence would break you. They thought if they stayed away you would crumble, reach out, beg to be remembered. But here's the twist. The silence broke them instead. Because you, my friend, embraced it. You leaned into it. You became one with it. You understood what Marcus Aurelius meant when he wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. That's why you're calm while they're restless. That's why you sleep while they lie awake. That's why your absence echoes louder than any words could. Let's be honest, the quiet is terrifying for them. It's a mirror that shows them their own weakness, their own pride, their own regret. They fear the silence because it forces them to face what they lost, and that fear keeps them restless. It makes them replay your laugh, the way you carried yourself, the steadiness of your presence. They thought it was ordinary when you were there, But in the silence of night, ordinary becomes extraordinary. The details they ignored in daylight become the very things they can't shake off at night. So why is it so difficult for them? Because the quiet removes their excuses. They can't tell themselves, "I'm too busy," when the clock strikes midnight. They can't say, "I don't care," when their heart beats louder in the stillness. They can't hide behind the noise of friends or deadlines when the world is asleep. Silence is the great equalizer. It forces them to sit with the truth. And the truth is, they miss you. They long for you. They feel the hole your presence once filled. Now, here's the Stoic lesson for you, my friends. Don't run from the quiet yourself. Don't fear it. Embrace it. While they fight it, you rest in it. While they wrestle with ghosts of memory, you build peace. While they let silence expose their weakness, you let silence sharpen your strength. That's the difference. That's what makes you unforgettable. Because the man who doesn't panic in silence, the man who doesn't beg to fill the void, becomes the man who lingers most in memory. Think about this. At night, while they're staring at the ceiling asking, "What if?" you're already asleep, dreaming about tomorrow. While they hover over your name, erasing unsent messages, you're planning your goals. While they run from their own thoughts, you walk calmly with yours. That contrast, my friends, is what carves your presence deep into their restless mind. So let me leave you with this. Silence doesn't weaken you, it strengthens you. It doesn't erase you, it makes you unforgettable. They suffer in the quiet hours, not because you chase them, but because you didn't. And that's the ultimate paradox of power. The one who embraces silence rules over the one who fears it. Write it in the comments below, type it out, declare it. Silence is my strength. Show yourself, show the world, show anyone who ever doubted you that you've mastered what they run from. Number 2, memories become weapons. Things that were once ordinary can become extraordinary when viewed through the lens of absence. Let that one sink in, my friends, because this is exactly what happens when the silence of night stretches across their world. During the day, they can tell themselves they've moved on. They can laugh with friends, bury themselves in deadlines, scroll endlessly through other people's lives. But when the noise stops, when the mask drops, when they are alone with nothing but their thoughts, suddenly the very memories they once dismissed return, sharper and heavier than before. Imagine this picture. They're lying in bed, staring into the darkness. Maybe the glow of their phone has dimmed. Maybe the world outside is asleep. And out of nowhere, an image pops up in their mind. The way you used to smile across the table. The sound of your laugh echoing in a room. The steady way you looked at them when the world felt chaotic. At the time, it may not have seemed extraordinary. To them, it was just another moment. Another Tuesday night dinner, another ordinary laugh. But now, in the silence, those little moments become daggers. The ordinary has transformed into the unforgettable. Seneca once wrote, "Every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end." And here's the reality. They thought the end meant freedom. They thought walking away meant peace. They thought filling their calendar, distracting themselves, pretending to be unbothered would erase you. But the mind doesn't work that way. The mind loves to revisit the past, especially at night when the body is still and the heart has no more excuses to hide behind. That's when memory becomes the weapon they cannot dodge. Think of memory as a movie reel. During the day, they can switch the channel, distract themselves, keep the volume low. But at night, the reel plays on repeat, whether they like it or not. And the cruelest part, memory is selective. It doesn't just bring back the bad, it highlights the good. It takes the calm moments you created, the steady presence you offered, and puts them in high definition. That laugh they shrugged off, that patience they overlooked, that calmness they mistook for passivity, those are the things that hit hardest now, because now they realize in hindsight how rare those things truly were. Let's break the lie right here, folks. They convinced themselves that you were replaceable, that someone else could come along, say the right words, share the right smile, and fill the space you left behind. But memory doesn't let them hold on to that lie for long, because memory whispers, no one else had his steadiness. No one else carried himself like that. No one else gave me that feeling of safety. And when they hear that whisper, they can't ignore it. Here's the paradox. The same patience they once dismissed, the same calmness they once took for granted, the same loyalty they once overlooked, all of it becomes magnified in the quiet. It's like a painting in a gallery. While the room is full of noise and people, they barely notice it. But when the gallery empties, when the silence returns, they stand before it, staring at every detail, unable to look away. That's you in their mind. Your presence painted across their memory, waiting for them when everything else fades. Now let's talk about their restlessness. Picture them scrolling through their phone. They come across old photos, old messages, even arguments they thought they were glad to forget. But instead of anger, they feel something else. Longing. They hover over those images, those conversations, and they start to see them differently. What once annoyed them now looks like proof of your steadiness. What once felt like tension now looks like a test of your patience. That's the trick memory plays. It reframes the past with sharper edges, cutting deeper than reality ever did. Marcus Aurelius reminded us, the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. And their thoughts at night, they're poisoned by regret. Regret over moments they dismissed, regret over loyalty they didn't recognize, regret over calm they misinterpreted as distance. And that regret grows heavier with every replay of memory. And here's what's even harder for them to face, my friends. These memories don't just make them miss you, they make them realize the contrast. Because while they replay your steadiness, they also see their chaos. While they remember your calm tone, they also hear the echo of their own impatience. While they think about your loyalty, they face their own inconsistency. That's why memory cuts deeper than silence alone. It doesn't just remind them of you, it forces them to confront themselves. But this is where your strength shines, because you're not the one sitting in the dark, tormented by the past. You're not the one replaying every moment, wondering what could have been. You are the one moving forward. You are the one anchored in today. You are the one living by the Stoic truth that what is gone cannot be controlled, and what remains is your response. That difference, that contrast, is what makes you unforgettable. And here's the beautiful irony. While they suffer sleepless nights, you sleep peacefully. While they replay memories like weapons, you create new ones in your own life. While they fear losing what they once had, you are discovering strength they never recognized in you. And that, my friends, is why the Stoic path is so powerful. Because it frees you from the chains of regret and places the weight of memory back where it belongs, on them. Think of it this way. Memory is not your enemy. Memory is their battlefield, and every time they lie awake, haunted by the smallest details of who you were, you are winning without lifting a finger, because while they're restless, you are calm. While they're trapped in the past, you are grounded in the present. While they're wondering if they'll ever find another you, you already know. You don't need another them. So let me break the final lie. They might act like they're fine. They might post as if they're happy, laugh as if they've moved on, carry themselves like they're free. But the night doesn't lie. The night strips away the performance, and in that darkness, memory becomes the weapon that never misses. And you, the man who remains calm, the man who doesn't chase, the man who lives with discipline, you become the echo that fills every quiet hour they can't escape. So here's your reminder, my friends. You don't need to fight memory. You don't need to break silence. You don't need to prove anything. Let memory do its work. Let silence do the chasing, because absence is not emptiness. It is imprint. And that imprint is written deeper than any words you could send at midnight. Say it with me now. My calm leaves a lasting mark. Type it in the comments. Let the world see it. Let yourself feel it. Because when you live with calm, when you stay disciplined, when you refuse to be shaken by someone else's pride, you no longer need to fight for memory. You become the memory they can't forget. And stay with me, because what's coming next will cut even deeper. We're going to step into the battlefield of pride and heart, where the real war begins. Number 3, the pride versus heart war. It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor. Seneca. My friends, let's begin with this, because it cuts to the core of what happens inside them at night. This is not just about longing. This is not just about missing you. This is about war, a war waged in silence, a war between their pride and their heart. On one side, the heart whispers, reach out, call, text, just say something. On the other side, pride shouts, don't you dare, don't give in, don't let them know. And as the night deepens, that battle rages louder than anything you could imagine. Picture them in the dark, phone glowing on their hand. Their thumb hovers over your name, trembling between two worlds. One world where they hit send, and pride shatters. Another where they delete every word, and the heart breaks again. This is not a small tug of war. It's a war that burns their energy, steals their peace, and leaves them exhausted by dawn. And what's worse? They will never admit this war exists. To the outside world, they look strong. They look composed. They look like silence is easy for them. But inside, it's chaos. Think of it like this. Pride is a fortress, tall and unshakable during the day. But when night falls, the heart comes with a battering ram. Every memory of you, every laugh you shared, every calm moment you gave them, it becomes another strike against the walls. And here's the truth. Those walls aren't as strong as they pretend. They may hold for now, but they crack. And every crack leaks longing they can't control. Marcus Aurelius once said, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. But here's the irony, folks. They don't have that power yet. They can't control their own mind. Their thoughts betray them. Their silence exposes them. Their pride tells them they're winning, but their heart reminds them they're losing. And while they wrestle with themselves, you remain calm. You are the contrast that makes their inner war unbearable. Now let's break the lie they live by. They believe pride keeps them safe. They tell themselves, if I don't reach out, I stay in control. If I stay silent, I don't look weak. If I hold my ground, I win. But let me ask you, my friends, what victory is it to lie awake at night, restless, staring at the ceiling, fighting a war with yourself? What victory is it to write a message and erase it 10 times, to scroll through old conversations and pretend it doesn't matter? That's not strength. That's slavery to pride. And here's the part they fear admitting most. Every time their heart whispers your name, it reminds them of the void your absence created. Pride can't fill that void. Pride can only delay the ache. It's like holding back a flood with paper walls. It feels like resistance at first, but the longer they resist, the harder it crashes. Imagine them tossing and turning at 2 a.m. The room feels heavy. The silence feels like a weight pressing on their chest. They reach for their phone, type out a message, maybe something small like, "Hey, are you awake?" But then pride shouts, "Don't be weak. Don't be the first." And so they erase it. But erasing it doesn't erase the feeling. The feeling grows stronger because now the heart feels betrayed by their own pride. And they lie back down, restless, caught in a war they can't win. Epictetus said, "Freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control, and that's where your power lies, my friends. You don't need to control their pride. You don't need to force their heart. You don't need to step into their battlefield. Their war is theirs to fight. Your role is to remain unmoved, grounded, and free. That is freedom. That is power." Too many men, however, fall into the trap. They sense this war, they imagine the struggle, and they think, maybe I should step in and make it easier for them. Maybe I should break the silence, send a message, remind them I care. But that's not strength, that's surrender. And surrendering to their pride robs you of your own freedom. Because here's the hard truth. If you fight their battles for them, you lose the war within yourself. Instead, the Stoic path calls you to something greater, mastery of self. True strength is not in chasing validation, not in forcing confessions, not in winning their attention. True strength is staying still while they tremble, remaining calm while they wrestle, resting peacefully while they lose sleep. That contrast, my friends, makes you unforgettable. While their pride keeps them chained, your discipline makes you free. And freedom is far more attractive than desperation. Think of a calm sea and a raging storm. Which one do sailors long for? Which one brings peace? Which one is remembered with relief? That's you, the calm sea. They may thrash in their storm of pride and heart, but deep down, they remember the steadiness you carried. And that steadiness haunts them when they realize they no longer have it. Here's another lie they told themselves, that silence meant indifference, that by not reaching out, they could prove they were above you. But silence doesn't prove indifference, it proves struggle. True indifference doesn't wrestle in the dark. True indifference doesn't hover over your name, doesn't type and delete messages, doesn't lie awake restless. Silence has become their prison, while it has become your power. And they feel that contrast more deeply than they'll ever confess. So what makes this battle so difficult for them? Because pride is heavy, but heart is louder. Pride wants to protect their image, but heart exposes their truth. Pride says, "Don't show weakness." Heart says, "But I miss them." Pride says, "Stay strong." Heart says, "But I feel empty." That's the tug of war they can't escape. And the longer they resist, the sharper the ache becomes. But you, my friends, you don't need to be caught in that war. You've already chosen the higher ground. You've accepted what you cannot control. You've embraced silence as discipline, not as punishment. And that is why, when they toss and turn, you rest. When they wrestle with pride, you walk in peace. When they feel the emptiness, you fill your life with purpose. That is power. That is freedom. Marcus Aurelius reminded us, the best revenge is not to be like your enemy. And here, the best response is not to mirror their pride, not to fight their war, but to rise above it. You don't need to prove you're stronger. Your calm already proves it. You don't need to force them to admit they miss you. Their restless nights already confess it louder than words. So remember this, folks. The pride versus heart war is theirs, not yours. Let them fight it. Let them lose sleep. Let them write and erase. Let them struggle. Your role is to stay calm, steady, and unshaken, because that calm is what makes you unforgettable. That calm is what makes you rise above. That calm is what wins in the end. Say it with me now. I rise above pride. Write it in the comments. Let it echo not just on the screen, but in your mind. Show yourself. Show the world. Show them that you are not bound by the chains they still wear. And stay with me, because next, we're going to step into an even deeper battlefield. The glow of the screen, where hesitation itself becomes the loudest confession. Number 4. The glow of the screen. A man is not worried by real problems so much as by his imagined anxieties about real problems. Epictetus. My friends, let's sit with this for a moment because it takes us right into the next battlefield, the glow of the screen at night. This is where their longing doesn't just whisper, it shines back at them through the cold light of their phone. You know the scene. It's late, maybe midnight, maybe later. The world outside is still, the lights are off, and the only thing glowing in the room is the screen in their hand. They're scrolling, swiping, tapping, pretending they're just catching up on the world. But in reality, every flick of the thumb, every scroll, every pause is just a delay before they land where they don't want to be. On your name. Picture it. They scroll past photos of friends, memes, news, even people they barely know. None of it sticks. It all feels hollow. Then, like gravity pulling at the tide, they stop at you. Your name, your profile, your old conversations. That pause is everything. It's hesitation, but hesitation is confession. Because if you didn't matter, there'd be no pause at all. They could scroll past without a thought. But they don't. They linger, they hover, they stare at the screen as though the glow itself could answer the ache they feel inside. And here's the lie they told themselves, folks. They thought not pressing send meant victory. They thought not calling, not texting, not showing weakness meant they were strong. But tell me, what strength is there in staring at your name at 2 a.m., writing out words only to delete them, feeling their chest tighten with every hesitation? That isn't victory. That's slavery to pride. They are chained, not by you, not by silence, but by their own fear of appearing weak. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength, and that's the tragedy here. They don't have that power yet. Their mind betrays them in the quiet hours. They can hold the mask all day, but the screen exposes them at night. That glow doesn't just light their face, it lights their longing. It reveals the storm they're desperate to hide. Think of the phone as a mirror. In daylight, it's just a tool. At night, it becomes a confession booth. Every time they open your messages, scroll through your photos, or stop at your name, they're confessing silently that they're not over you. They may not say it out loud, but hesitation is louder than words. And hesitation always tells the truth. Now here's where the fear creeps in. While they hesitate, while they hover, while they delete unsent words, their mind begins to spiral. What if you don't even think of them anymore? What if you're laughing with someone else? What if their silence has cost them forever? And that fear hits hardest because the screen that once connected you now becomes the wall between you. They could bridge it with one message, one call, but pride drags them back into silence. And so they suffer. Not because you're gone, but because their own pride keeps them chained to longing they can't release. Let's break the lie right now, my friends. They think silence protects them. They think waiting for you to reach out gives them control. But what is control if it robs them of peace? What is strength if it leaves them restless at 3 a.m., scrolling through ghosts of conversations that no longer exist? True strength is not in silence alone, it's in peace. And peace is exactly what they don't have. Meanwhile, look at the contrast. While they're hovering over your name, debating, deleting, drowning in hesitation, you are free. Maybe you're already asleep, resting peacefully. Maybe you're planning tomorrow. Maybe you're enjoying a book, training at the gym, or simply sitting in quiet reflection. That difference, that contrast, is everything. Because they can feel it. They can sense that your calm is not an act, but a reality. And that reality unsettles them more than anything else. Seneca said, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." And that's the truth of the glow of the screen. The phone doesn't just connect them to you, it connects them to their imagination. They imagine texting you, imagine you replying, imagine the conversation that might follow. They imagine you ignoring them. They imagine you living without them. Each scenario burns heavier than the last. They suffer not because of what is, but because of what they imagine could be. And here's the irony. Every second they hover, every moment they hesitate, every message they delete, it only deepens their attachment. Because if you were truly gone from their heart, there'd be no hesitation. They'd scroll past without a thought, but they don't. The glow of the screen exposes the truth their pride wants to bury. They miss you. So why do they think this way? Because pride tells them that reaching out makes them weak. Pride whispers that silence means power. But Stoicism teaches us the opposite. True power is not in withholding love out of fear. True power is not in hiding behind hesitation. True power is mastery of the self, mastery of the mind, mastery of desire. And in this, they are failing while you are winning. My friends, here's the beauty of your discipline. You don't need to be glued to a screen. You don't need to hover, to hesitate, to delete. You don't need to let pride chain you to longing. You've already chosen freedom. You've already embraced the truth that your value doesn't depend on their recognition. And that truth is what makes you unforgettable. Because while they sit in the dark, restless, glowing screen reflecting their struggle, you shine without even trying. Think of the contrast like night and day. For them, the night is tormenting. For you, the night is peaceful. For them, the phone is a reminder of what they lost. For you, it's just a tool, not a lifeline. That difference is magnetic. That difference makes your calm impossible to forget. So remember this, hesitation is confession. Every pause on your name, every deleted message, every late-night scroll, that's proof of the storm they carry. You don't need to chase. You don't need to break the silence. Let the glow of the screen be their battlefield. Let their hesitation be their confession, because your silence is not emptiness, it's power. Say it with me now. Strength is in my silence. Write it in the comments. Let it echo on the page. Let it remind you and the world of where true power lies. Because when you embrace silence, when you master calm, you don't need to hover or hesitate. You live free. And stay with me, because what's coming next is even heavier. We're about to step into the hours of sleepless regret, when silence turns into a shadow they can't outrun. Number 5. Sleepless in regret. Regret is wasted if it changes nothing. Marcus Aurelius. My friends, let us begin here, because regret is one of the heaviest burdens a person can carry. It doesn't shout in the middle of the day. It doesn't announce itself in crowded rooms. No, regret is a midnight visitor. It slips under the covers when the lights are out and the world has gone silent. That's when it creeps into their chest, their mind, their very bones, leaving them restless, sleepless, and haunted by the shadow of what they lost. Picture it. The bed feels bigger than ever, like an ocean they can't swim across. The silence of the room grows louder than any noise they heard all day. They toss, they turn, they flip the pillow, pull the blanket, kick it off again. But nothing helps, because the battle is not outside, it's inside. Their mind won't rest, their heart won't let go. And in those hours, regret becomes the soundtrack of the night. They begin to replay memories, not just the sweet ones, but all of them. The time you made them laugh so hard they nearly cried, the patience you showed when they pushed your buttons, the loyalty you carried when it would have been easier to walk away. Even the arguments come back, but in a new light. What once felt like tension now feels like proof of your steadiness, because while they lost their calm, you kept yours. At the time, they may have seen it as weakness, but in hindsight, it shines as strength, and that realization cuts deep. Let's break the lie, folks. They thought walking away meant relief. They thought silence would bring peace. They thought someone else, something else, anything else could fill the space you once occupied. But in the quiet of the night, the lie crumbles. Because the one thing regret teaches is this: nothing can erase the imprint of someone who lived with calm, with discipline, with strength. They didn't just lose a person, they lost an anchor, and now the weight of that realization keeps them awake. Seneca once wrote, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality," and that's exactly the torment of regret. They lie awake, not only replaying the past, but also imagining the future. What if you were the one who truly cared? What if you were the one they should have fought harder to keep? What if, while they are lying restless, tossing and turning, you are smiling without them, moving forward, living free? That thought alone can sting more than any memory, because regret doesn't just pull them backward, it pushes them forward into fear. And here's the paradox: the more they try to bury the regret, the stronger it grows. The more they resist the memories, the louder they echo. Pride tells them, stay strong, don't reach out, don't give in. But the heart whispers louder in the dark. The heart says, you pushed away something rare. You let go of someone steady. You lost a man who didn't need to shout to prove his value. And that whisper is the one they can't silence. Now, think about the contrast, my friends. While they lie awake, restless, haunted and fearful, you sleep soundly. Your peace isn't shaken. Your mind isn't chasing ghosts. You don't need to beg for recognition, because your worth doesn't depend on their validation. That's the freedom Stoicism offers. The ability to let go of what is beyond your control, to embrace silence, not as punishment, but as discipline. And that freedom is exactly what keeps you steady, while regret keeps them restless. Imagine them holding their phone in the dark. They scroll through your old messages, hover over your name, maybe even draft a text. Hey, are you awake? Simple words, but heavy with meaning, and yet pride grabs their hand, forces them to delete it. They put the phone down, roll over, stare at the ceiling, but the silence doesn't let them rest. Their heart doesn't let them breathe. Regret pulls them back to the phone again. The cycle repeats. Write, delete, hesitate, suffer. And the truth is clear. If they were really over you, if they truly didn't care, there would be no struggle. There would be no hesitation. There would be no regret. But the regret is there, and it grows heavier with every hour of lost sleep, because deep down they know something they don't want to admit. You were the one who didn't need them to define you. You were the one who didn't break when silence came. You were the one who kept calm when they created chaos. And now that calm is exactly what haunts them. Marcus Aurelius reminded us, receive without arrogance, let go without attachment. and that's what you've done. You received the relationship without arrogance, and when it ended, you let go without chains. That acceptance is your strength. And ironically, that very strength is what stirs their regret. Because while they expected you to fight, to beg, to prove your worth, you chose peace instead. And now they see clearly. You were never desperate. You were never weak. You were steady all along. Let's pause here, my friends, and see the bigger picture. Regret is not proof that you should go back. Regret is not a signal that you should break your silence. Regret belongs to them, not you. It is their burden to carry, not yours to solve. Your role is not to save them from the sleepless nights. Your role is to live in such a way that your calm continues to echo, your discipline continues to inspire, your presence continues to be unforgettable, even in absence. Think of it this way: regret is like a shadow. It only appears when there is light, and your calm is that light. Your steadiness, your silence, your discipline, that's what makes their regret impossible to outrun. You don't need to remind them. You don't need to send a message. The shadow of regret follows them on its own. So here's the lesson. Let them toss and turn. Let them replay memories. Let them wrestle with what-ifs. That's their journey. Your journey is different. Your journey is peace. Your journey is calm. Your journey is freedom. Because the man who can sleep soundly while others drown in regret is the man who has already won. Say it with me now. My peace unsettles regret. Write it in the comments. Let it stand as your declaration. Let it echo for others who need to hear it. Because the truth is simple. You don't need to carry their regret. You don't need to fight their battles. Your strength is in your calm, and your calm is exactly what makes you unforgettable. And stay with me, my friends, because what comes next goes even deeper. The sleepless nights don't just end with regret. They spiral into something darker, the endless cycle of what-ifs, where the imagination becomes a prison, and every shadow in the night feels like a door they can never reopen. Number 6. The spiral of what-ifs. Man is not worried by real problems so much as by his imagined anxieties about real problems. Epictetus. My friends, this is where the night becomes a prison. The silence has already broken them. The memories have already cut deep. Regret has already crept in like a shadow they can't shake. But now, in the darkest hours, another enemy appears, the endless spiral of what-ifs. And let me tell you, this spiral is crueler than any reality. Because reality ends when the day is over. But imagination can torture them all night long. Picture them lying in bed, staring at the ceiling. The room is dark, the glow of the phone has faded, and they're left alone with their thoughts. And suddenly, the questions begin. What if I had chosen differently? What if I'd held on? What if I've already lost them forever? What if they're happier without me? What if they're with someone else right now? One question leads to another, each heavier than the last, until the mind becomes a storm with no way out. That's the spiral. And once it starts, it doesn't stop. Seneca once warned, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." And that is exactly their suffering. The reality is simple. You are calm, you are moving forward, you are steady. But their imagination twists that reality into a nightmare. They picture you smiling with someone else. They picture you giving your loyalty, your patience, your calm energy to someone who values it more than they did. They picture you walking through life stronger, freer, and untouched by the chaos they feel inside. And that picture burns them more than any argument ever could. Here's the lie they told themselves, folks. They believed letting go would give them control. They believed silence meant they had the upper hand. But silence doesn't give them power, it gives them space. And space is where the imagination takes over. Pride can stop them from texting you, but pride cannot silence the what-ifs. And those what-ifs are merciless. They don't just remind them of what they lost, they remind them of what they may never get back. Imagine their heart racing at 2 a.m., their stomach twisting, their mind refusing to rest. They turn over, grab their phone, scroll, stop at your name, but they don't message. Pride stops them, and so the spiral grows deeper. What if I never get another chance? What if I ruined the one thing that gave me peace? What if they've already forgotten me? Those questions keep coming like waves crashing against a shore, and no matter how much they resist, the tide keeps rising. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Never let the future disturb you. You will meet it, if you have to, with the same reason you use for the present. But they can't do that. They don't live in the present. At night, they live in the future, an imagined future where they are no longer a part of your life. And that imagined future terrifies them more than silence itself, because silence can be broken. But a future where you're truly gone, that feels permanent. And permanence is the one thing pride cannot protect them from. Now let's break this down. Why is this so difficult for them? Because the what-if spiral forces them to face truths they tried to bury. During the day, they tell themselves, "I'm fine. I don't need them. I've moved on." But at night, the spiral asks, what if you lied to yourself? What if you let go of someone irreplaceable? What if you'll never feel that steadiness again? And the silence offers no answers. That's the cruelest part. The questions never end, and the answers never come. Meanwhile, my friends, let's look at you. While they are trapped in imagination, you live in reality. You don't need to ask, what if, because you've already accepted what is. That's Stoicism at its core. Freedom from illusions, freedom from chains, freedom from questions that lead nowhere. You are grounded in today. You are building, growing, living. And that difference makes you unforgettable. Because while they are consumed by imagined futures, you are writing your own. Think about the contrast. They are awake at 3 a.m., heart pounding, mind spinning, trapped in questions that only hurt them. You're asleep, resting peacefully, or maybe you're awake by choice, focused on building something real, reading, working, planning, living. Their imagination drowns them. Your reality frees you. That contrast is everything. It's what makes your absence heavier than your presence. It's what makes your calm louder than any words. And here's the final twist. The spiral of what-ifs doesn't just torture them, it makes them miss you more, because every question ends with the same truth. What if I lost the one person who didn't need me to feel valuable? What if I pushed away the man whose calm couldn't be shaken? What if I never find that again? And my friends, that's not just longing, that's fear, that's realization, that's the dawn of truth breaking through pride's illusion. So what's the lesson for you? Don't step into the spiral with them. Don't fall into the trap of their imagination. Don't answer questions that aren't yours to answer. Their what-ifs are their prison. Your reality is your freedom. And freedom, lived out with calm and discipline, is what makes you unforgettable. Epictetus reminded us, freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control and their spiral, their sleepless nights, their restless questions. That's beyond your control. You can't stop their imagination. You can't fight their regret. You can't win their battles. But you can govern yourself, and that, my friends, is the highest form of power. So let them spiral. Let them suffer in questions. Let them drown in their own imagination, because every sleepless night they spend asking "what if" is proof that your calm, your steadiness, your silence has left a mark they cannot erase. You don't need to remind them. You don't need to chase. You don't need to beg. Their imagination is doing the chasing for you, and that is the quiet, powerful truth. So here's how we end this journey. Remember this: their spiral is not your weakness, it's their confession. Their regret is not your burden, it's their lesson. Their imagination is not your prison, it's their battlefield. You stand free, you stand calm, you stand unforgettable. Say it with me now: peace is my power. Type it in the comments below. Let it echo across this community. Let it remind you of your strength. And if this message has opened your eyes, do me a favor. Press that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with a friend who needs to hear it. Because while they spiral in the night, you will rise in the day. And that, my friends, is the true path of a Stoic.